Di mana letak yang tak kau suka?
Beautiful sights of Indonesia. Each country has its own beauty. The beauty of a country can be from its unique cultures, interesting places, or beautiful sights. Each country must proud of those kind of beauty. Moreover, every people in each country is not only amazed with those kinds of beauty, but also interested in talking about those kinds of beauty and in enjoying them. There are people who like to learn or just to know the unique cultures from a place or a country, and there are people who like to go to interesting places. For some people, they like to see and enjoy the beautiful sights. Many people throughout the world visit Indonesia every year. They want to enjoy the beautiful sights that the other country doesn't have. If you are one of people who like to see and enjoy the beautiful sights, you should visit my country, Indonesia, because my country has some of the most beautiful sights you will ever see. Most of people in the world must have known Bali. Bali is one of the most famous islands in the world. It also becomes the most precious treasure of Indonesia. Bali is well known for its lovely beach. For example, there are Sanur, Kuta, and Tanah Lot. Sanur Beach is usually more crowded in the dawn. Tourists like to go there in the dawn because they want to see its beautiful sunrise. The spears of the sunlight turn the sky into red. It's really gorgeous so that it can attract people to visit Sanur. Next is Kuta Beach. Kuta Beach is really famous for its spectacular sunset and waves. Kuta Beach, also known as Bali's #1 sunset site. Every late afternoon, hundreds of people gather to see the spectacular sunsets. Then is spectacular. Wave attracts tourists who spend hours here swimming, surfing, and sunbathing. This place is a well-known destination among surfing enthusiasts. The long sandy beach, with its lack of dangerous rock of coral, makes the waves ideal for beginners. One that is not less interesting is Tanah Lot. Tanah Lot means the small floating island on the sea. Tanah Lot is famous with its temple which on the reef. Something that makes it more interesting is holy thames snakes in black and white color at some nooks of coral reef around Tanah Lot temple. The local society believes that the holy snakes are as a deity property and as the guard of the temple from the bad influence. The temple is reachable in a few minutes because it's just 20 meters from the coastal lip. Tanah Lot is also very famous among tourist destinations in Bali with spectacular view of sunset. Tanah Lot owns a magnificent view in particular at the sunset time where the sun sets. Every visitor who is paying a visit to this place will be marveled to see the beauty panorama of Tanah Lot. Move to the island next to Bali, to the west in East Java. East Java is famous for its mountains and volcanoes. Mountains and volcanoes in East Java also have wonderful scenery that is like the beach in Bali, such as Bromo and Semeru. Mount Bromo is an active volcano and part of the Tengger Massif in East Java. At 2,329 meters, it is not the highest peak of the massif, but is the most well-known. The massif area is one of the most visited tourist attractions in East Java. The volcano belongs to the Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park. This mountain sits in the middle of the vast plain called the Sand Sea. The best views from the mountain Bromo to the Sand Sea below and the surrounding volcanoes are at sunrise. Everyone knows the Bromo is the right place to enjoy the lovely sights of sunrise. There is a famous spot for seeing sunrise in Bromo Mountain. It is Penajakan Mountain. The summit of Penajakan Mountain is always crowded in the early morning. Many tourists go to the summit in the early morning and they are filled the summit just for one to see the spectacular sunrise. From Panajakan Mountain and Bromo Mountain, tourists don't only see sunrise but also wonderful sun rising behind the landscape. Moreover, tourists will also enjoy the magnificent view of Mount Semeru and Mount Bromo from the summit of Mount Panajakan. Then tourists can also pass through face of sandy area called Ancient Sea and can see the Hindu temple held by Tengger tribe from Bromo. Another great mountain is Semeru. Semeru is the highest mountain of Java. At 3,676 meters, this stratovolcano, the top is also known as Mahameru or the Great Mountain. The most unique from Mount Semeru is that it spews out a smoky cloud of steam, black ashes and stones every 20 until 30 minutes. If you are viewing the mountain from Panajakan Mountain, you can almost be guaranteed of seeing the mini eruption, unless if you are really unlucky should the mountain decide to catch a breath, so to speak. Mount Semeru steep sides rise abruptly from the southern coastal plain on Java Island, although one could not see it from Panajakan. This mountain is the favorite place for hiker, trekker, or climbers to have hiking, climbing, or camping. The location which area prepared for these activities are Semora Lawang Nongkojajar camping ground in Kalimati Camp, Ranu Nape, Ranu Pane village, Ranu Kumbolo, Ranu Darungan, Arkapada, and other beautiful places. On the way to Kaliwati, the tourists or trekkers will pass vast field of savanna just about the feet of Mount Semeru. In Ranukumbolo, the tourists or trekkers can enjoy the view of beautiful lake and also sunrise by the lake of Ranukumbolo. When the tourists or trekkers reach the summit Mahameru, they will enjoy the view of the major part of East Java because they are in highest top in Java. Those natural phenomena are really spectacular scenery in East Java. On the west of East Java, there is Central Java. In Central Java, there are many marvelous temples. For the most famous and the most marvelous is Borobudur. Borobudur is one of the 7 wonders in the world because it is the greatest Buddhist temple monument. Its construction is formed by 6 square platforms and 3 circular platforms. It has 3 levels of stage ascending to the top. There are Kamandatu, the word of desire. The lowest stage, Rupadatu, the word of forms. The middle stage, and Arupadatu, the word of formlessness, the top stage. The monument is a marvel of design decorated with 2,672 relief panels and 504 Buddha statues. A main dome at the center of the top is surrounded by 72 Buddha statues. The architecture and stonework of this temple has no equal. It was built without using any kind of cement or mortar. The structure is like a set of amazing interlocking Lego blocks held together without any glue. The temple is decorated with stone carvings in bas relief representing images from the live Buddha. Borobudur is used as a shrine to the Lord Buddha and as place for Buddhist pilgrimage and worship. When there is Vesak ceremonial, a Buddhist holy ceremonial, the Buddhists walking along through 3 Buddhist temples, from Mendu to Pawon and ending at Borobudur. There is also a performance that is called Mahakarya Borobudur, which is performed several times during annual National Vesak. In addition, Borobudur was built in a hill row from east to west, so that tourists can also enjoy the beautiful views around Borobudur, like the great views of the hills and the green view of rice fields around Borobudur. Those unique and wonderful things in Borobudur attracts tourists every moment. Prambanan is another temple in Central Java, but different with Borobudur. Prambanan is a Hindu temple. It is the largest Hindu temple in Indonesia and one of the largest in Southeast Asia. Prambanan also has panels of relief describing the story of Ramayana. In Prambanan complex, there are 224 temples in total, but the site is dominated by the imposing figures of the three main temples: the Brahma temple, the Vishnu temple, and the Shiva temple. Besides, there are two flank temples, four pillar temples, and four corner temples. Thus, the ancient masterpieces of Hindu architecture are locally referred to as Prambanan Temple or Roro Jonggrang Temple. That complex is also surrounded by a beautiful garden where tourists can enjoy the great view of Prambanan while they are taking rest. There is also a performance in Prambanan that called Ramayana. It is a traditional Japanese ball which is performed every full moon night in Prambanan. Prambanan attracts many tourists each year from abroad. Situated about 15 kilometers from Yogyakarta, the main street is visible for a great distance and raised high above the scattered ruins of the former temples. Prambanan is the best seen shortly after dawn or in the late afternoon. However, it is still beautiful at any time. Because of those great views, Prambanan becomes one of the major ecological and cultural tourism attractions in Indonesia. Perhaps we can find many beautiful sites in every country. In every country, there will be different sites with its own beauty. But in my opinion, my country, Indonesia, has some of the most beautiful sights I ever seen.